Alright, so I was on the carnivore diet for 4 weeks. It's been between 1 month and 2 months since I came off, and this is me telling you about my experience coming off the carnivore diet. So in this video, I am going to go over how it was coming off the carnivore diet, the effects that had on my life and my body. Now, there will be timestamps in the description if you're interested in just one or two things in this video. And what I'll be going over is the benefits I experienced of being on the carnivore diet as I remember them. It's been a while since I was on it, so this will kind of be just me looking back. Number two, the not so great things about being on the carnivore diet, what I experienced. Number three, going off the carnivore diet and how I transitioned off it. Number four, the good, and number five, the bad about coming off the carnivore diet. Again, if you're just interested in one of those things, description below. First things first, the benefits I experienced on the carnivore diet. The most noticeable immediately was weight loss. When I started, I was 92 kilos. That's in American Freedom units, that's 203 pounds. And at the end of it, after 4 weeks, I was 84 kilos. Freedom units, 185 pounds. That means I lost 8 kilos or 18 pounds. And that's over 4 weeks. And I mean, my body just felt lighter. Everything I did, every chore you have just feels lighter when you lose weight. It's that simple. Second biggest benefit I noticed was I didn't have any cravings. I didn't feel the need to eat all the time. When I ate my meal, I was satisfied. And that was really, really great because I have a bad tendency of overeating. Another benefit was easy meal planning. I mean, you cook a piece of meat and you eat it. It was that simple. And if I needed to grab something on the go, I could just cook up a packet of minced meat and package it with me. Another big benefit was less joint pain and back pain. I do sleep on my shoulder like this, and often my shoulder is sore when I wake up. Same with my back. And on the carnivore diet, there was less of that. It didn't completely go away, but I was only on it for 4 weeks, so it might have, I don't know. But it did improve a lot. And the last benefit I'm going to mention is my energy levels were stable. I stopped taking naps. I felt the same kind of all throughout the day. I didn't have any peaks with high amounts of energy or any lows where I felt like I just needed to pull myself together. There was none of that. So that was kind of cool. And again, I've made a couple of videos about my progress along the way, so you could watch those too if you're interested. Not so great things about being on the carnivore diet. Again, my experience, it may be different for you. Not a lot of variety. I mean, yes, you can have fish, chicken, meat, but you kind of, well, I did, end up in a pattern really quickly. Minced meat was easy to make. Ribeye steak was easy to make. Eggs and bacon and salmon, easy to make. And I ended up doing that a lot because of that. Of course, I am sure there are plenty of people who are smarter than me who have 500 different meals on the carnivore diet, but I didn't. That wasn't my experience. Second thing that I noticed, thinking back, it was hard to make it work with family life, social life, and work life. Family life, it's obvious because when I make dinner, I have to make 2 dinners, one for me and one for my family, because they are not eating carnivore. Sometimes I could just make the same for us, except I made more meat, which I ate, and then they ate whatever else I was cooking in addition to the meat, of course. But most of the time it wasn't like that. I had to make one dinner for me and one for them. With social life, it's kind of obvious. If you're going out to eat, a lot of the times it's hard to order just meat. And if you do, you end up paying the same as if you ordered the complete meal with vegetables and fries and rice and sauces and whatever. I didn't go out to eat when I was on a carnivore diet because I didn't know how to order. So my 4 weeks I didn't go out, so I can't say how the experience would have been like. But other times I've subtracted something from the meal and I didn't really get a discount. There's a possibility of that at least. Work life, I mean, lunch is easy to plan. You just cook in advance and bring it with you. But my job, I eat dinner at work. More often than not, we make dinner together so that all of us are eating together. But being on the carnivore diet, I always had to make my own food. That wasn't a huge problem, but it did affect my life. The biggest not great thing about this was no beer or alcohol. I enjoyed drinking beer, as a lot of people do, and I did miss that, being on the carnivore diet. That being said, a lot of the pros, a lot of the good things in this carnivore diet far outweighed a lot of the negative things. But because the carnivore diet made my life harder in a way that it was more work, it's just easier for me not to be on the carnivore diet. How did I transition off? Well, in the beginning, beginning, ding ding. At first, when I came off the carnivore diet, I was kind of set to kind of transition into a low carb way of eating. Just add vegetables to my meat, maybe some fruit, I don't know. And I did for a little while, and then I had to travel for work, and I didn't really have as many options while I was out traveling. So I ended up eating high carb, because there's a lot of bread in almost everything everywhere, or rice or pasta, and I ate all those things. And then coming back, I kind of weren't focused on staying on a low carb diet anymore. And then we had 3 children's birthdays parties, and there was cake and there was chocolate and other stuff. And I kind of transitioned into the normal diet, I guess you could call it. But it wasn't that horrible. So let's go over the good things about transitioning off for me. Family life, work life, and social life is a lot easier. I am not thinking about how I'm going to make that work. I just make whatever food I want to make and we all eat it. If we go out to eat, I just pick whatever I want on the menu and I eat it. And at work, we just create whatever food we create and we eat it. That part is a lot easier. The bad thing about going off the carnivore diet, the bad experience I had. First of all, I've gained 2 kilos. That's 4 pounds. I went up from 84 kilos to 86 kilos. Now, that's not a lot. I mean, most of that could have been just water weight. And I've kind of plateaued at that weight. I'm not gaining anymore, and I'm not really losing anymore either. But I do feel those 2 kilos. I notice that they're there. And naps are back. Maybe not as frequently as it was before trying out the carnivore diet. There's less of them. But on some days I do take naps. And this is a kind of weird one because it has to do with the head. I am not as easily motivated to do stuff as I was on the carnivore diet. I don't know why or how that happened, but on the carnivore diet I was a lot more focused and motivated on the tasks I had to do. It was easier to make YouTube videos on the carnivore diet than it was off. Could be just the energy levels, could be mental clarity, not sure. The worst thing about coming off is I'm overeating. Not like overeating and gaining weight, but I'm eating huge meals. Sometimes I just eat 2 times a day, so it kind of evens out calorie-wise, but still, when I think I am full and I don't need to eat anymore, I still do. Imagine this, you just had a big dinner and you're stuffed, you're thinking, I don't really need to eat more. And then the waiter comes and asks, do you want dessert? And you're thinking, yeah, sure, why not? After you eat that, you almost feel hungry again sometimes. It's weird. I poop a lot more. Cheers to poops. On the carnivore diet, I didn't poop so much, and the consistency was consistent. Now I poop a lot more, and the consistency of the poop varies a lot more. I don't know. Going forward, will I go back to the carnivore lifestyle? With family life, work life, and social life as it is now, no. Not in the immediate future. Maybe when my kids are older and meal planning would be easier. Perhaps. Maybe January next year I'll do the same thing because it was fun, I guess. Has my diet changed? Yes, kind of. Will it change more? Probably. I am trying to reduce the amount of carbs I eat. I am trying to reduce the amount of sugar. I am doing that because I do think those are the things that gave me the biggest benefits by steering clear of. Not sure, could be wrong, of course. I often am. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I have been getting a lot of feedback from you guys telling me your experience being on the carnivore diet. So next week's video is going to be about your experiences. Now, I already have a lot of comments about this, you guys telling your story, but do feel free. Use the comments below, share your story, and it will maybe, probably, perhaps be featured in next week's video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay curious.